In a single fishing season, Alaskan fishermen pulled up millions of pounds of king crab from the frigid seabed. 200 traps were dropped on just one trip. The value could reach a record high, $500,000 USD. But behind those numbers, there's technology, there's risk, and there's the lives of the entire fishing crew. Let's dive deep to the seabed and discover how a massive crab catch is made from 200 traps. King crabs primarily inhabit the cold waters of the North Pacific and the Bering Sea. They are typically found at depths ranging from approximately 20 to over 200 meters, where water temperatures are consistently low and life is almost non-existent. King crabs are one of the largest crustaceans living on the cold seabed. Their bodies are covered in a hard, spiny shell strong enough to withstand the pressure and harsh environment deep at sea. The value of this crab species doesn't lie in its body. Almost all of its commercial value is concentrated in its long, meaty, and heavy legs. A mature king crab can reach a leg span of over 1.5 meters. The weight of a large individual can exceed 10 kilograms. It is precisely those legs that have made king crab a familiar ingredient in high-end restaurants. Their large size, firm flesh, and distinctive sweet flavor place them among the most expensive seafood on the market. King crabs have a slow growth rate. They must undergo multiple molts throughout their lifespan to reach commercial size. This process makes them vulnerable and highly dependent on environmental conditions. The breeding season usually takes place in winter and early spring. Female crabs carry their eggs under their bellies for months, with the number potentially reaching hundreds of thousands of eggs at a time. However, only a very small percentage of these survive to adulthood. The long life cycle, slow reproduction rate, and low survival rate of king crabs have led to strict fishing regulations and significant economic value for the species. The ships involved in king crab fishing are not ordinary fishing vessels. They are specially designed to handle heavy loads and harsh offshore conditions. The ship's deck is reinforced to withstand hundreds of kilograms of steel and crabs during each haul. Cranes and winches operate continuously, lifting the heavy trap cages from the deep seabed to the surface. Each trap cage is a sturdy steel structure, strong enough to withstand significant pressure and impact during deployment and retrieval. Even when empty, the cage is heavy. When full of crabs and bottom mud, the weight can increase many times over. On a fishing trip, the number of traps not only reflects the scale, but also the fishing strategy. The placement of the traps is calculated based on experience, data, and natural conditions. In king crab fishing, traps are not designed to catch the maximum quantity. They are designed to catch the right species, the right size, and according to regulations. Each trap cage has a carefully designed entrance system, allowing commercially sized crabs to easily enter. Conversely, smaller crabs or non-target species are often difficult to trap inside. This design significantly reduces bycatch, limiting unnecessary impact on the seabed ecosystem. More importantly, it allows immature individuals to continue to develop and reproduce. The success of a fishing trip doesn't begin when the cages are pulled onto the deck. It begins the moment the first cages are lowered to the seabed. "200 traps were deployed according to a pre-calculated plan. The placement depended on the seabed topography, currents, weather, and the captain's accumulated experience over many fishing seasons. There is no fixed formula for soaking the traps. If it's too short, the crabs won't have time to approach the bait. If it's too long, the risk of bad weather, losing the traps, or significant yield loss increases. Every decision during this phase is a non-refundable investment. Just one wrong choice can put the entire trip at a disadvantage. When the trapping operation began, the tension on board increased significantly. Each heavy cage is lifted amidst constant waves and wind. The cables bear immense loads. Cranes and winches must operate precisely at every moment. A cage might be empty, signaling a previous misjudgment. The next 25 cages could be filled with adult king crabs, enough to change the outcome of the entire trip. The deck was now the most dangerous working environment. The surface was wet and slippery, and heavy equipment was constantly moving in the confined space. As soon as the traps are opened, the king crabs are brought aboard and immediately sorted. This process is quick, but requires no mistakes. Each crab is checked for size, condition, and eligibility according to fishing regulations. Individuals that do not meet the standards or are not permitted for harvesting will be released back into the sea immediately. Releasing crabs in an invalid manner means rejecting their immediate value. After sorting, the crabs that meet the standards are transferred to live crab tanks on the ship. This is a key system that determines the true value of the catch. The 30 tanks are continuously pumped with seawater to maintain an environment close to its natural state. Dissolved oxygen and temperature are tightly controlled to reduce stress and mortality rates in the crabs. When the ship docks, king crab enters the final stage of the value chain. At the processing plant, the crabs are sorted again to ensure uniformity and quality. Workers secure the crabs and separate the legs using specialized knives or mechanical rotating blades. Each cut must be precise to preserve the full value of each piece of meat. After separation, the king crab legs are moved to the cooking stage. Boiling or steaming is done immediately after processing to preserve the natural texture and flavor. Time and temperature are strictly controlled. Even a small deviation can affect the quality of the meat. Next is the rapid freezing process. This step helps preserve the freshness, sweetness, and texture of the meat throughout the long transportation period. From the deep sea to cold storage, each stage contributes to the final value. From the frigid depths of the ocean to the dinner table, king crab carries not only flavor, but also risks. Have you ever eaten king crab? Is the price worth it? In your opinion, is this fishing method sustainable or just a gamble with the ocean? And what seafood species or fishing trip would you like to discover to explore next? Please leave your comments.